All right, let's talk about something we do dozens, maybe even hundreds of times a day without even thinking about it. Typing something into that little search bar. It looks so simple, right? But behind that clean white page is one of the most complicated systems ever built. So let's pull back the curtain and see how the magic really happens. I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? You type in a question, you hit enter, and boom, instant answer. It's kind of like this daily miracle we all just take for granted. How on earth can any system find the one perfect answer from billions and billions of web pages, all in the blink of an eye? So to get how Google finds anything, we first have to understand how it organizes everything. The best way to picture it is like this. Imagine the internet is the world's biggest, most chaotic library ever, with no central filing system at all. Google's first job is to be the librarian that brings order to all that chaos. So how does it build this library? Well, it uses an army of what are called crawlers. You can think of them as these little robotic librarians that are just constantly, automatically zipping through the web 24/7. They follow links from one page to the next, reading everything and discovering every single book or web page that's out there. Okay, so this whole massive job really breaks down into two main steps. First, there's crawling, which is what we just talked about. That's the discovery phase. But the second step, indexing, this is where the real magic starts to happen. As those crawlers find pages, all that information gets stored and organized into a gigantic digital card catalog. And we're not just talking about a list of titles here. No way. We're talking about a massive, searchable index of pretty much every word on every page. That's the key. All right, so the library is built, the card catalog is all organized, but now you need a ridiculously fast librarian to find the exact piece of information you're looking for. And that impossibly fast librarian, that's Google's search algorithm. Its entire job is to find exactly what you need right when you need it. The very moment you hit enter, the algorithm just springs to life. Its first job is to figure out what you're really asking for by analyzing the words you typed. Is it a question? Are you looking for a product, a place? Then it just races through that massive index we mentioned, pulling up every single page that could possibly be a match for your search. But, finding all the possible matches isn't good enough. It has to find the best ones. And this is the most important part. How does it decide what goes on top? Well, the algorithm uses hundreds of different signals, but they all basically boil down to these three big ideas. How relevant is the page to your search? What's the quality of the information on that page? And at the end of the day, how useful is this page actually going to be for you? It even looks at stuff like how fresh the content is, so if you search for latest movie reviews, it knows to show you pages from this week, not from last year. So the library's been organized, the algorithm has analyzed what you want and ranked all the potential answers. Now we get to the final stage, the results page that you actually see on your screen. And it does all of that in milliseconds. Just let that sink in for a second. The whole process, understanding your question, searching billions of documents, and ranking them based on hundreds of factors, it all happens in a fraction of a second. It's just truly mind-boggling. And as you've definitely noticed, the goal isn't just to give you a list of blue links anymore. Based on what Google thinks you need, it might show you images, a video, maybe a map with directions, or even one of those featured snippets that pulls the answer right onto the search page itself. It's all about giving you the answer in the most useful format possible. Okay, let's zoom out for a second here. We've seen all the mechanics of how it works, but what does it all really mean? Why is understanding this process so important in our day-to-day lives? At the end of the day, what we have here is a system that was built from the ground up for one single purpose: to sift through the complete chaos of the internet and hand you the most relevant, high-quality, and useful information it can find. It's basically the engine that powers our collective access to human knowledge. And that leaves us with one last massive question to think about. We've just gone over how it all works, but it's worth taking a moment to consider the sheer impact of it all. What does it really mean for one system, for one set of algorithms, to be the main way that we organize and access pretty much all of the world's information? It's definitely something to chew on,